Hello, everyone. I'm Glenn Sedgefield, Director of Marketing for DMI. Welcome to our ongoing DMI University webinar series, where we explore agent topics related to sales, marketing, and operations that can make a real difference in your business. Today, we're jumping into one of the best-selling FIAs available, the Athene BCA suite of FIAs. This is an incredibly flexible product that I know we're all excited to learn more about. But before I do, I just want to mention that we will have one more webinar in our FIA webinar series next week on November 17th, where we'll discuss Athene Protector 5 for the broker-dealer rep audience. You'll be receiving reminders on those. And also, don't forget to go to DMI University. We have a page set up there called Fixed Index Annuities. And you can find the last webinar recording that we did there, and then also some related materials to that webinar, this webinar, and the one for next week. So also be aware that we're muting and blocking participant video during the presentation, but we'll open it up at the end for 30 or at the end of the 30-40 minute presentation for Q&A. But today we're very lucky to be joined by Alex Hill of Athene and Phil Ferrara, a VP of Annuity Sales for DMI. But I'm going to stop talking and I'm just hand things off to Phil for a few words. Hello, Phil.
Sorry. Thanks, Glenn. Hello, everyone. Thanks for attending our session today. I know you'll find it very informative. We've had a long-standing relationship with Athene and also a long-standing relationship with a lot of the business development wholesalers, which Alex Hill is one of our valuable partners at Athene. And Alex works with a number of our key distribution partners. Besides managing relationships like ours, he also frequently speaks at training events like this and helps educate advisors on the benefits of fixed index annuities. Prior to his current role, Alex worked on Athene's inbound sales line, where he assisted producers in case design and pre-sales questions. Alex attended Iowa State University. He holds his Series 6 license and his life and health license. Alex lives in West Des Moines, Iowa, with his fiancee, Ashley. In his spare time, he enjoys time with his nieces and nephews, cooking, boating, and music. So I'll turn it over to Alex to start our session with the BCA. Thanks, Alex.
Yeah, hey, thank you for the intro there, Phil. So I am Alex Hill with Athene here, and today what we're going to be talking about is our BCA Nexus line, and you know why, like Glenn said, it is one of the best-selling annuities on the market. So while we get into that, if any of you guys have bought a car recently, you know, how much time does the average consumer take to purchase a new vehicle? How much time did you spend researching it online, seeing what the options are? Some consumers are very quick in purchasing a car. They show up at the lot, say, "Oh, this one's silver, excellent, just the color I wanted." But some consumers, they like to take their time. So if we compare it to the old days, most consumers, like I was saying, are taking a lot of time researching vehicles online prior. They want to do price comparisons. They want to look at consumer reviews and reports. They want to look at all the features that are available, gas mileage, things like that. But there's one thing that hasn't changed, and that's name recognition. So recently, I was shopping for a new car, and the car I was shopping for, what I really wanted to get into, was a Mercedes-Benz. And why Mercedes-Benz? Well, the brand, the prestige. That's a Mercedes. You see someone rolling down the street in one of those, you go, whew, you take a look. Quality, everyone knows a great quality build, great safety features. The prestige, like I was saying, going down the street in that Mercedes-Benz, you feel good, you feel powerful. And then performance, you got the best engine on the market, great things, and then style. On top of all that, you want to look good while you're doing it. So the real reason I was looking at them, though, is I wanted to be like, Jason, one of the other VPs in the annuity side with his E300, or like Glenn, with his E350, looking good and going down the street. Maybe, I need something a little bit bigger. I'm a fairly big guy. I need a little bit more space. So I want to be like Phil with the S550, lots of comfort, lots of room. But I mean, really, there was one common theme between all the cars, and that was that Mercedes equals excellence. So some people get confused though. There's so many models, There's the E series, the S series. What I really was looking at, the G Wagon, lots of different brands, models, makes. So, what we want to do is we want to sell people on their brand. You walk in the store and they just create a solution for every customer. Hey, well, what it is that you're looking to do with this car? What do you need out of this? Are you just trying to putz around town, or I live in Iowa. If you live in a snowy place like that, all-wheel drive or four-wheel drive, that's pretty important where I live. So we factored that in. Really, what it all comes down to is customer wants and needs. So it's time to elevate your clients' retirements. And we're going to do that using the BCA 2.0 because it's proven to be the best performer with its enhancement features. Top tier index selections between the Merrill Lynch RPM, Schiller Barclays Cape, and the Siegel. Patented daily tracking value. This is something that is not available on all fixed index annuities. It is a patented technology that is only available with the BCA and the Nexus line. Then we're going to have different income solutions with different payout choices, and then different legacy solutions as well for death benefit options for your clients. Then on top of that, we do as well have trail commissions available. But I mean, that's a lot to learn, right? How do I know which goes here, which goes there? Some people might just say, wow, I'm too confused. That's way too many options. So make it simple. What we're going to do is we're going to learn the base product, the BCA, the base. We're going to sell the engine. We're going to sell the name brand. What we're going to do after that is, the rest is going to be a la carte. It's going to be based on your consumer needs. Do I want the E350 or do I want the G Wagon? Like I said, sell the engine behind the Nexus BCA, and that's going to be the starting point here. So once we sell the engine, the strength, the performance, the name brand, the Nexus line, ask the clients a question. Do you want income? If they do, keep it simple. Do you want flex growth or stacked growth? So flex growth, it's going to credit at a 4.5% guaranteed rate year over year, or 200% of the index crediting. So if the index is up, 5%, that means the client's going to get 10% credit to their income, as opposed to 4.5%. But that means the client is guaranteed for the roll up year over year. Or do you want the SGO max, where 4.5% guaranteed, you're getting that no matter what, and you're getting 100% of the index crediting as well. So there's different options available. And on top of that, we have different payout options. We have the level payout option, which is going to, provide a level guaranteed payout year over year. If it's $10,000 in year one, it's going to be $10,000 in year 10. And on top of that, we have inflation adjusted and earnings indexed income. Earnings indexed income, I'm a big fan of. I think it's really kind of that sweet spot where your client's going to get the best potential growth, and we're going to cover that a little bit more down the line here. Then, lastly, do your clients want to leave a legacy? If they do, we have riders for that. We have the FER, it's going to credit 3% guaranteed fixed interest rate, or the FER Max, it's going to credit 2% and then 100% daily of their interest earnings. So, again, there's options, there's flexibility, but the big thing here is we're selling that engine, that name brand, and from there we're building off of that. So, in summary, of the Nexus, we want responsible performance, a proven winner, customized solutions available for any need, and really we're selling the brand, we're selling the engine that's going to be able to satisfy your client's needs. So there's three things to remember. Keep it simple, hey, the Nexus, from there, sell the engine. And then from there, we're going to build off that and sell your client's needs. But lastly, if I'm going to dream big, really what I think I needed was the Maybach. But it turns out all that I could afford was a minivan. So that is actually what I drive around in, and that is a Chrysler Town and Country. But hey, still looking pretty good, just not quite as good as Phil and Glenn. Now we're going to get into a little bit more nuts and bolts here, and let's do that. So again, it's an a la carte design. Do we want to look at it for accumulation, income, or legacy? Now, if we're looking at it for accumulation, the BCA is going to offer strong accumulation potential with 10 index crediting strategies. And actually, I believe it's 12 now, so excuse me on that. So 12 index crediting strategies with no caps and participation rates, with both charge and no charge options to offer a variety of opportunities for your clients. And we're also going to introduce you to 2 innovative index options in the BCA FIA lineup. So we have the Merrill Lynch, the Schiller, Wisdom Tree, another Schiller, and then the S&P 500. So the Merrill Lynch RPM index is going to be made up of 98% of the U.S. Fortune 100 and 83% of the global Fortune 500. So this is, made by Bank of America, and it's among the world's leading wealth management companies and a global leader in corporate and investment banking across a range of assets, serving corporations, governments, institutions, and individuals around the world. Then we have the Schiller Barclays Global Index. So this is going to be developed by Robert Schiller. The Schiller Index is by far one of our favorite indices available, both the global and the Schiller Cape. So the Schiller Global is going to be made up of commodities from the United States, Europe, and Japan. Then we have the Wisdom Tree Siegel Strategic Value Index. So what that's going to be made up right here. So we have 500 U.S. equities. We're going to evaluate between the largest U.S. companies, identify U.S. market value sectors, and then we're going to weigh those equally to provide a balanced return, so it's not leaning too heavily one way or the other. Now, I did say that we offer those with a strategy charge available or without a strategy charge. You can see that with that charge, we can get a little bit higher performance here by offering a significantly higher participation rate. It's essentially a way for the client to buy in and expand our purchasing options that we talked about in the last webinar here. And if you look at our average performance here, really going from 3 to 6% almost, it's really putting us right in that sweet spot that we really want to be. If we look here, this is going to be a little bit more of the same. Another great thing, so if you remember from last week, we talked about our efficient frontier research. This is just another way, another time I want to, key in on the importance of diversification and blending the index options available. So you want to split it up, in some way or another between the other index options. So if one is up, then, one may be down, and we have a chance to, kind of even out the risk for your clients there. And then with our BCA 6, we actually offer short-term accumulation as well. And this is really great. This is going to issue up to age 86. So as your clients get older, it may be more and more difficult to place them in products. So the BCA 6 offers a great option for them. And that BCA 6 comes with a return of premium for the client. So that means that any money that they put in at the very beginning, they can pull out for no charge, minus any withdrawals, obviously. And this is that daily tracking that I was talking about earlier. So this is a proprietary technology that is only available on the Annexus line. And what this is able to do is we're able to track the growth daily. So in most strategies, start in November 10th, we don't know officially the growth until November 10th of the following year. With this, we can track daily, and there's a BAV, which is essentially a balance allocation value, which is tracking it daily so your clients can really see how their index is growing. But on top of that, they are also able to use that for withdrawals or a death benefit as well. So it's a really great option for your client to be able to take full growth of the index as it's growing and not have to wait for each anniversary date. Then in today's unprecedented economic environment, interest rates are at an all-time low. S&P 500 triggered its circuit breaker 4 times in March of last year. And then the volatility has reached an all-time high. So if we take a look at how our indices have recovered in volatility here, so if we look at that Schiller Barclays Global, the CAPE, and the Wisdom Tree, you'll see, during the corrections, they were down. And then after 1, 3, and 5 years, they were again up significantly. So this is really kind of speaking to the performance and the power of that engine backing this Nexus line. So next, what I want to talk about is income in a little bit more depth here. So we're going to talk about the SGO Max, the Flex Growth, and then we're actually not going to spend any time on the velocity today. So the SGO Max, like I was saying, this is going to be guaranteed plus stacking income. So there's going to be up to an 8% income-based bonus on it, 4.5% compound growth for 18 years, and then we're going to stack 100% of the interest earnings on that. So if we take a look at this here, you're going to see that we have, client receives the 8% income-based bonus. They're going to receive that 4.5% roll-up. Then on top of that, at 4.5% compounding, they're also going to get 100% of any index earnings on top of that. So it's a great way for us to continue to grow and grow. And you can also see we have this laid out on a hypothetical. And in a worst case scenario, we know exactly what the client will receive because they're still going to be getting that roll-up. Now, we also have the Flex Growth, which has, also that up to an 8% income-based bonus. We're going to get the 4.5% roll-up and then 200% index earnings if it's higher than the 4.5% roll-up every 2 years. So again, let's kind of see how this one will play out. So if we take a look here in this scenario, we're going to lock in the 4.5% growth on some of these down years because that's going to be a better value for the client. And on these up years, we're giving the client 200% of the interest earned on the index, and we're crediting that to their income base. So it's really a great value for a client where they can take full advantage of those up years while still having the safety in those down years. Now, I did say that we have 3 different payout options. We have the level, the inflation adjusted, and the earnings indexed. Now, if you take a look here on each one, the level, like I said, it's going to pay out the exact same in year 1 that it's going to pay out in year 10. So in this scenario, it's going to be just shy of $7,000. And then if we look at the inflation adjusted and the earnings index, they're going to continue to grow year over year with either the CPI for the inflation adjusted or with the crediting of the index with the earnings index. Now, earlier I said that, I really think that the earnings index is really kind of that sweet spot. And to me, it's because as you can see, it continues to grow and it's eventually going to outpace pretty substantially both of these options after really not that significant of amount of time. So over over that full 20-year period here for this client, there's a substantial more earned for their income there. Then let's talk about legacy a little bit here. So again, with the legacy, we have 2 different options. We have the FER and the FER Max. Now, both of these are going to come with a premium bonus. These premium bonuses are great. They can help offset surrender costs. If, we're placing a contract that really hasn't worked out very well for our client, we can get them into a product and a strategy that we know has worked in the past and should continue to work in the future here. So with the FER, there's going to be 3% compound growth annually, and then a 3% annual dollar-for-dollar percentage. And then the FER Max is going to be 2% compound growth, and then 100% of the interest earnings. So again, it's going to be similar to the same thing on the income side. We're just offering it as a death benefit or a legacy for your client, where again, they can really kind of take advantage of either one. If they're, if they want those guarantees, we can offer those guarantees. Or if they want to offer, a little bit higher upside with less guaranteed, we can offer them that as well. So let's take a look real quick here at John and Patty. So John and Patty want to protect their legacy while planning for RMDs. So John's going to allocate $1 million of his retirement savings to the BCA 10 with the FER bonus. And based on guaranteed hypotheticals, to age 85, John would have taken $520,000 in RMDs while still maintaining a death benefit of $976,000. So let's kind of take a look at this here. So here's that death benefit. So you can see that John is pulling those RMDs, those required minimum distributions that the government makes you pull out of your qualified accounts. Now, at the end, by the time he passes, he still has that death benefit of $976 sitting there. So that means that's continuing to go up year over year in this same guaranteed scenario. This is a scenario where there's zero crediting associated at all. Now, let's take a look at a hypothetical scenario where we do have some earnings. But if we do look at this one, the total benefit is just shy of 1.5 million on that initial $1 million. But again, let's assume 2.68% hypothetical earnings on this scenario. So in this scenario, he's able to pull out $660,000 out of those RMDs and still leave that death benefit for 978. So in this scenario, that's another big step up from that 15 to this 1.5 to the 1.6 million dollars off that initial $1 million investment. And again, that was with under 3% earnings. We've seen, as you saw earlier, on average, much more than that. So this is still a pretty low assumption. So it's really kind of speaking to the power and the strength of the BCA. So again, a couple of takeaways on the BCA. For accumulation, we have great index options with excellent participation rates available in a fee and no fee version, up to 8% premium bonus when the FIA is selected. For income, we have the flex growth where we can get either the greater of 4.5% and the 200 or the 200%, or we can get something where we know it's going to get that 4.5% every year and 100% of the index earnings, again with an income-based bonus with multiple different payout options. And then if we look at our legacy here, we have, again, multiple different options here for different things. So thank you. That is my time here. Does anyone have any questions for me?